Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be making a video on the performance of the Pinebook Pro. Mine is running Manjaro ARM with the KDE desktop. It's just my preference, and I think it's one of the better OSs right now available for the Pinebook. This is a fairly clean install with only a couple things added, updates installed, and a fresh user profile. So, right off the bat, it starts up quickly, battery life's good, and the Wi-Fi is good as well. There's no things, or nothing of that nature I can complain about in my experience of a few weeks. I'll just give a, let's do the, compositing here. If I open up Writer, you can kind of see how the windows are drawn. You can see it starts fast. If you look closely, you can see lines kind of being created there, and that's screen tearing, which this has an issue with, and I'm assuming it's because of the lack of video drivers. That should be something that can be fixed relatively soon. That might not be an issue in the Android or Chromium OS. I don't remember about the Chromium, but Android came out after I tried all the OSs. So I guess I can test on that later. Performance is fine, you know, no issues there. Keyboard's great. Spacebar hits on point. The only issue with LibreOffice I can tell is the icons are a little bit messed up there. If I kind of zoom in there, you can see that they're really dark and hard to see, but that is an issue that can be fixed quite easily just by changing the colors, just like that. You go in there and change the colors, but I prefer the dark theme, and I don't use LibreOffice all that much. I mostly just use Firefox, which is what I'm going to move to next. I would think that most people are going to be using the web browser instead of things on the computer, or at least that's what I usually do, browse the web. But unlike the Pinebook, this is actually quite a smooth experience. I'll just go over to Wikipedia. I did load a few pages just a second ago to make sure the internet was working, and it is. So you can see scrolling through Wikipedia, it's fine. I'll go back to Linux, and this page was already loaded. You know, of sorts, I loaded it a few minutes ago, so that might make a difference. I'll open up one I haven't, which is Systemd. Cool, there we go. That works just fine. If I start opening up new tabs or things into new tabs, just random links here, all to Wikipedia, you can see it's fine. The performance still does not suffer. The Pinebook would have issues with that. Let me load up, let's see, I just go here, let's do IT, I'm just going to load this from the Blender Foundation, as it's a video I know I can play without getting into trouble. I want to turn the volume down. Let me put this into HD. Let's do 1080p 60 FPS. I don't know if it's going to handle it, as I really don't watch YouTube on laptops. Alright, so you can see frame drops, not good. Let's turn up the volume. And relatively loud. And once you start moving around, it's not quite as nice. If I go back so I can load a 30 FPS variant, whoops, not that, this one. Let's try here, 720, let's do 1080, nope, I guess just 720, 30 FPS. It's okay. I suppose if I pull up the stats for nerds, we can look for the dropped frames, which would be right there. 0 out of however many it's going to be on. Volume's still good. Performance is fine. Let's see if I go at a full screen. Let's open up a new tab. Let's go over to Wikipedia again, because I got nothing better to do. Scroll around the page, still fine. Awesome. It's showing 0 dropped frames. If I unmute it, we should be able to hear the audio. Cool. Scrolling around, fine. Let's go February 1st. Cool. So, no performance issues there. Not like what was on the Pinebook, where that would be quite a struggle to do. So, web browsing is fine. Audio quality, it's fine. I suppose that's not really a performance thing. It's louder, but it's still rather tinny, as you could kind of hear. There's no bass to it. Let's try to open... Let me get... Oh, yeah, I tried getting Kdenlive on here to edit videos to see how that would work. Unfortunately, it doesn't want to work. And I believe that is an issue with the video drivers. I suppose this gives you kind of an idea on how the menus function, and that's fine. Let's open up. Let's go to the terminal. A few people will probably use the terminal, not much. HTOP's not installed. Okay, has tops there if you want to see the utilization. It's not going to do too much though. Terminal's fine, that can run on anything. Let's do case sysguard. And that will give you a better idea on the resources being used by the system. There's the RAM. If I go back over to Firefox, I'll snap that over there. Put that over there. Let's go to Wikipedia. And you can watch the CPU usage. It's not going to fluctuate too much, or it's not going to spike too much, I wouldn't think. You can see it's fine. If I go back to, let's see here, Big Buck Bunny. I don't know which one it was. This one, maybe? I don't remember. Let's do, yeah, from Blender. Okay, cool. You can see the CPU still handling it just fine, scrolling around, loading in that. It's about what's the performance you'd see from a Core 2 Quad Q6600 if you've ever used one of those with, say, Windows 7, I suppose is what I would know their performance to be like. Obviously the RAM's not going to be an issue, or at least I would say it won't be, but the screen tearing still is. Okay, so unfortunately there's really no other applications that seem meaningful that I can load up here. I tried to get a couple games, but they don't load, and some other ones I just could not find in the repositories. So I suppose that's really all I can do for a performance overview. I wanted to compare it to my Pinebook with Manjaro as well, but it decided that it was going to throw a fit and not want to work. I don't know why, but it just stays on a gray screen. It doesn't seem to want to boot, and it's kind of difficult to pull that thing apart to get the eMMC module reflashed. So I'll have to go dig out an SD card. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that next week. But hopefully this video has some meaning at least. Knowing the web browsing performance, and I would say it's probably the biggest issue is YouTube playback for older or less powerful systems. It's fine for me. You know, I don't think this is gonna show up. Last 7 days. Last 24, 12, 2, 48. No. So the battery I guess I'll go over a few things. The battery life on here is quite good. I usually keep my screen brightness around 25% or so, and with it turning off, like the screen, the system can run all day without an issue. With the screen on, I think that I would guess you can get around 8 hours of battery life in the web browser, Firefox, if you're not doing anything too intensive, which for me is, I usually don't do anything too intensive here. The biggest issue that you'll have with software compatibility, on Manjaro at least, is the lack of the video driver, or I suppose it would be the 3D accelerator. As you can see, it has no idea what that is on the system. And it's not actually VMware who makes this. The vendor, I don't know, maybe that's just the generic kernel built one. Software support seems to be getting better. You can definitely use it as a main system, but I would advise against it because of the lack of video drivers and the screen tearing. But the performance is fine. You probably wouldn't notice much of a decrease in performance going from almost like an average laptop from 2015 or so, or low-end one today. From a Chromebook, I have no idea. I've never used a Chromebook. And when I put this next to a 2015 MacBook Air, I actually, I don't own a MacBook Air, I was just using a friend's. And he liked the keyboard on this better, and so did I. I think it's got better travel. The thickness and whatnot, weight's around the same. The battery life on this is better. The performance, I don't know. So hopefully there's a takeaway from this video. Hopefully it helps somewhat. Try to keep it somewhat short. But I'm really good with running over time. So, yep, there's another error. Well, I suppose I'll maybe see you in another video. Have a great day. Bye.